Welcome back to another video, guys. So yeah, today you join me on a very wet and cold and it is snowing day. Yeah, basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be getting this sort of prepped and ready for hopefully the new ball joints and the springs that I still need to order. But for now, we've got Christmas out of the way. It's the day after Boxing Day. And yeah, what we're going to do is, because these arches are really disgusting and filthy, I don't know if you can see it there in some of that light. I'll get a torch. One that works. Right, there we go, guys. So yeah, as you can see, it's really disgusting. We need to get that ball joint off there on the top, and we need to obviously get the springs out and generally just give all this a real much better clean than it is. If we can get any of the wishbone off, anything that can come off nice and easy, I will take it off, give it a lick of paint, and if not, just clean it up, brush it up, and sort of go from there, really. The same with the Brembos, give them a good clean because they've seen better days. And yeah, that's about it, really. So I just aim on sort of getting this all cleaned and ready, get the ball joints off, and then get it sort of all prepped and ready for the new ball joint and the new spring, basically. So yeah, that's my mission today. Just sort of go at a slow pace. Don't have much, you know, a bit of a schedule to do this kind of stuff. But yeah, I just want to sort of give it a good clean, get it ready, and sort of go from there, really. So it's not going to be very fun or very entertaining, but I'm just documenting this process, obviously having this car, so it'd be nice to sort of look back on it and see where we've come. Yeah, if we get time as well, might give the car a little clean. It is not looking great, but it's not the worst. So yeah, we'll get clean those arches now, do all four sides, and then we've got a nicer working environment, basically. And what I'm going to do as well, because the ball joints in these need to be pressed out, I still need the tool for that as well. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be getting like I might get either the blowtorch on it or the WD-40 and things like that. Just pre-loosen them up, get them sort of nice and soaking overnight, so that when I do come to do it, that I'm not struggling with it and it's not being an absolute ball ache, basically, to get off. So I'm going to get these sort of loosened up, and so everything's nice, ready to go, basically. So I can just come in here, drop the ball joints, drop the springs, take them off. I've got spring compressors over there, and then I can just whack all the new stuff on nice and quickly, give this a detail, give it a full clean, and then she's ready back for the road. So get her in for the MOT, obviously, because it needs MOT, and then hopefully back on the road then after that. I am planning, if time and money warrants it, giving this car a little bit of a service as well. So new spark plugs, drop the oil, and something like a K&N panel filter, something like that. What else is there to do? Not really a lot else after that. Yeah, so anything like that, cabin filter, you know, just the little bits, and just give it a real good clean where all the leaves tend to sort of tuck into these sort of areas. And that's generally about it, really. So yeah, let's get clean those arches. So what I'm going to do first is, basically we've got my sort of modified bottle, Jack Daniels bottle, and with a spray bottle on top. So I'm going to go get some fairy liquid from the house, some nice hot water in this, and then that's my sort of degreaser, if you like. Then we just got some paper towels to dry it off, a sponge, because that's all they're good for these days. You would never detail your car with this, well, I wouldn't. That's what that pile of microfiber cloths are for. Yeah, so that's for sort of scrubbing it all down. Towels to sort of dry it and sort of take up any of the sort of loose muck, and then just some cheap, really cheap budget car wax, basically, just to give it a little bit of protection in there for the winter months. And that's about it, really. So yeah, I'm just going to show you how to really do it on the cheap, and it should just last a little bit better in those wheel wells, stop any rust kicking in those early days. So yeah, I'm going to go get some hot water, fill this up, and go from there. Yeah, got my bowl filled up, nice hot water with some fairy liquid. So that's all good. Got my work light down there. so I can see what I'm doing. So there's a little before shot, and I'll show you after now. There we go, guys. So yeah, that's just after. So that's the first sort of pre-wash, if you like. So the liner's looking a lot nicer. Caliper's had a little bit of a clean. There's some more sort of stubborn marks on it. You can see up there, just on top of the caliper. So yeah, they're going to need addressing, but once we get them off, we can get into those tighter gaps to give it a clean, but they're really baked on there. So yeah, looking a lot nicer for its first clean. So now all we got to do is try and sort of grease up all these ball joints and give these a lick of like WD-40 to loosen them up and sort of break it all down really, so we can start giving it a really good clean inside. Once the strut comes off, I can clean right up inside the towers there, give it a coat of wax, and hopefully they should be lasting a little bit longer. And yeah, go from there really, guys. Right guys, so yeah, we've developed a bit further. I thought I might need the tool, but I already have one. But basically, to get my Brembo calipers off, I'm going to need sort of a it's almost like a star bit that goes in those two holes there. So you want one there and then one below it basically, and then hopefully that should take the caliper off. I've never had to take these off before. There might be one at the back, but I don't think there is. Yeah, so luckily I've got a tool for this because I didn't think I had it, but that's basically what it looks like. And I'll tell you what size it is because I've got a whole set. So over here, I bought this from Machine Mart, and it is a H12, which is that one there. I thought it might be the 14, but it's actually the H12. So then obviously that allows you to get the there you go, so it's an S212 on that. So yeah, you need one of those, and you can obviously put it in, and there's drives here. Put it in that, and then that makes your ratchet basically. So what's that, half-inch drive, so you get a half-inch breaker bar just over there, and then I'll go and crack those off and stick some WD-40 in the crevice as well to help it come out, because I do not want them shearing. So yeah, give that a go. That one's nice and easy. Right, and then so what you're going to need after that, obviously you're going to want to suspend this caliper from something. So what I've got is, you can use welding wire, you can use a coat hanger, whatever you've got to hand, but I have a cargo net. And then all that allows you to do is, obviously I'll wrap that around the caliper and hang it from the spring for now, because we don't want any of the weight of the caliper hanging on just the brake line, because obviously that's not very good for the brake line. So yeah, we'll take these off and we'll see what we're left with. So what I've got here, another little handy tip. I picked up a few of these from the from a boot fair years ago, because I knew I'd be doing projects like this. So I've got about 8 of these. I've got one for the other side, and what I tend to do is I put all my bolts and fixings and washers and nuts, everything that I know that came off this side will be in this box, and hopefully won't get lost. So, because that's very easy to do. So let's take these off and see what we're left with. Right, so I've never gone through this car properly before, guys, so hopefully being a relatively new car, if you like, 2009 plate, this should be a lot easier than the red car. So one would think, if that logic applies. Right, there's one. That's a big old bolt. So one of them, put that in the box, don't lose that. T-bolt, and hopefully with a bit of encouragement, might just be a bit stuck on there. So I'm going to get my rubber mallet, give her a little bit of a boot. So put that over the top, don't want to damage anything. Just try not to hit the bleed nipples. And hopefully that should, there we go, should come off. Nice and easy. Car has been sitting for a couple of months since its MOT, so it's going to be a bit seized. Alright, there we go. Brake pads don't look too bad, so that's a good sign. But she definitely needs a clean. She is not very good. So yeah, one caliper off. Like I said, just get the that cargo net wherever I left it, which is right here. I can hold it. Put that underneath. That should be good, like that. The line's a little bit kinked, but I might get some performance braided hoses on those, so probably won't last very long. Right, now I need to get the, you can see there. So what I need to do now is probably get this brake off, the actual brake disc, and sort of investigate what's behind it really. So yeah, keep your box safe, calipers all hung, that's not putting any stress on the brake lines. So right, let's go and get our other star bit. So it's not an actual, I don't know what you actually call these. I suppose it's just another top of star bit really, that's what I'd call it. So we've got our star bit drives, put this one back so we don't forget it. It's going to be important putting it obviously back on. And all we need is a 1/2 inch, I don't know what's going to go in that. Let's try a T50. No, smaller. T45. No, tiny bit smaller. Hopefully this one will do the trick. Yep, that's the one. T40, TH40. Let's have a look, see if there's any. What's that one? That might be a bit better. There's a T40 there. Let's try that. So obviously when you put all this stuff back together, you want to be using your Loctite and all the torque down bolts and any copper C's and things like that, and any of the sort of more serviceable bolts. So, and then obviously torque everything down to spec, but that will just help when you come to do this job again. These ones have come off nice and easy, so we getting along nice and easily with this so far. So yeah, like you can see, you put some copper C's in there, you won't get any of that sort of generic rust that you get on the threads. Put that in the box so we don't lose it. Take this one off, and again with that one you can see where the water's got to it, and if any of these bolts are past it, I shall get some new ones, but we shall see. And then that, hopefully that should come off. Give it a bit of a smack, and there we go. On brake disc, that one's off. we'll get this off the ground so we don't want it getting damaged. Right, so there we go guys, that's what we're left with. Got the hub. Got no play in that at all, so that's good. Bearing should be okay. So a little update there for you guys. So what I've been doing is I've taken the other disc and the other caliper, which I've hung up there, like I said, with a bungee cord. And then all I've been basically doing is slowly sussing out what bolts I need to take off in which order. And what I've done is I've taken the bolt out of here, but for some reason it's still not coming off. I'm not sure what this is, if it's ABS or something like that. So that plug needs to come off somehow, but I don't want to snap it. So I've taken the bolt out next to it. And then the other thing I've taken off, obviously I've soaked it all in penetrating fluid, that's why it looks all greasy. But I've taken out this this bolt here, and I had lots of problems with it. And that's why it's taken me a little while, but basically that's what I was left with. So you can see there, I've had to drill it, I've had to punch a star bolt bit into it as well, and finally it actually gave out, and with some heat on it as well from a blowtorch. So that was a bit of a pain. So I'm going to have to get new ones of those. So they go in there, in that little hole there, and that pinches the bottom ball joint. So yeah, I've got to take all these off and go one at a time. So it's going to take a bit of time to get this all sorted, and I want to really clean these arms up as well because it's really grotty underneath here. So guys, so yeah, a little bit of an update. Just clean off the lens there. Yeah, basically I've been, like I say, I've been sussing this out and trying to work out what I need to take off and as and when. What I've basically done is I managed to get the circlip off the top, which was absolutely seized. And I've got a feeling most of these bolts are going to be pretty seized, so I'm probably going to have to replace every bolt and nut that I take off, just for safety, basically. I don't really like the idea of putting really crusty stuff back on. That's the circlip there. Like you can see, that side was completely seized on. The rest of it came off not too bad, but again, I shouldn't have to take a blowtorch to that to get rid of the crustiness around it. That was one of the bolts, nylocks, that were down here on this end. Again, that had to take an impact socket to that to get that off. So yeah, it's not looking good. This is going to take me a lot longer than I thought. And I've just come across this drop link bolt here. It's almost like a joint that's in between the wishbone and this center arm here, and basically what you need is some very specialized tools, which is a bit stupid really. Luckily I already have them, but if you can see what I've got here, you need a wrench with a hole end on it. See, I've only had to ever use these on the front coilover struts on Rita, but it's now coming handy for this, but I never thought I'd need it for this. That needs to go on there, and if you can see there, it's actually got a star drive in the threaded bit there. So you put that on top of the nut, if it'll go back on. Right, so that's on there, and then what you need to do is you need to have the star bit on the end of your brake bar, so like that. So that going on there like that, and then that just drops through the center there, and you need to hold this one tight whilst you undo it with the ratchet down there, the hollow ratchet. And yeah, so that seems to be working, coming off. So yeah, like I say guys, it's going to be a bit long-winded and a bit temperamental, I think, with all these bolts and nuts. Still need to get this hub nut off as well. There's the steering arm roll joint there, basically, that needs to come off on that side, so that one there. And then I've got all this mash of wiring. But what I'm thinking I might have to do is I'm going to try and take all of this off in one hit, because I've noticed underneath this ball joint here, which I'm not going to be able to get to, there's a nut underneath this as well that goes through behind this arm, which is going to be very tricky to get to. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to take all this off, the arm, this arm and the suspension arm, and try and drop it all as a unit, and then take it to the bench and take it apart basically bit by bit on the bench, and then reassemble it on the bench and put it back together. I think that's going to be the easiest way to do this, but I will do one side at a time just so I don't forget how it all goes together. So yeah, that's where I'm at, guys, and yeah, I'm just going to crack on with this and try and get these arms out, and I'll leave it for another video once hopefully I'll get the other side off as well. So yeah, that's about as far as I can really get and show you guys what I'm doing without it being too boring. So yeah, I just need to take it all off basically and go from there. We'll get there in the end. But like I say, you do need some specialised tools, so I've got those star bits there of all sorts, T-bars and things like that. And then you need this hollow ratchet set as well, which comes in handy now, which I didn't think I'd ever use again, but it is being used now, and putting it to good use really. So yeah, if you like the video, guys, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. And as you can see by my breath, it is pretty cold in here, but I'm going to crack on with this for a little bit, try and get this whole arm off, and then that gives me a general gist of what I need to do for the other side, so hopefully that's a bit quicker. But as for now, guys, I'm going to crack on, and I hope you all had a really good Christmas and the new year coming up, and yeah, I'll see you on the next video. Cheers, guys.